Well, this is part 2, the final stage of this conversion. As you can see, the machine now has the reels and the glass installed. I'm just going to pull the motherboard out and show you how to change it. It's a pretty simple procedure now. There's only one chip that has to be replaced. It's called the stepper base chip. It's a small EPROM about the size of your finger. You unplug one and plug it in the other, place it back in the machine, restart it, and you should be ready to go. If you don't change your denomination, I try to keep everything the same. If you have a 3-line machine, you may want to buy a 3-line game. I have a 9-line machine, so I bought a 9-line game. So let me get in a little closer and we'll show you how to pull the board. Now the first thing you have to do to pull the board is to shut the machine off. So we're going to come around again, open the machine up, shut the machine off up here. There's a little switch again up in that corner to shut the machine off. Now, I'm not going to shut this machine off and redo all the programming, but I do have a spare board from my other game, and I will show you how it's involved. Now the first thing is that you won't be able to pull the board by hitting this sound speaker. Mine just basically lifts up and comes out. Very simple procedure. That will give you room to clear the tray. Now once the machine is shut off, you have to be very careful, don't give it static shocks. Once the machine is shut off, you will pull the tray slowly out. It comes right out. Bring your tray out. This is what a tray looks like as it comes out. This is an old tray I had. Here's a close-up view of that tray. Now the tray basically has plugs on the rear, back here, that will plug into the back of the machine. So remember, when you pulled it out, put it back in the same way. This board has an additional soundboard right here. This board lays on top of the motherboard and has a sound card that goes in here to change different sounds. This is your battery. A lot of times you'll have to change this after 3 years. My green Varta battery was removed from this board. If you don't have them removed, they will corrode and then leak onto the board and ruin the board. Now here's your chips. You have 2 game chips that don't come out. These stay in the game. They're the operating system of the game. And then a version chip up here. These 3 chips do not have to be removed at all. The only chip that has to come out is a chip right here, which is missing. It's called the base chip. It's 40 prongs. Basically, you would take the old chip out and then put a new chip in. And I'm going to show you what they look like here. This is the new chip that's going to go into the game. 20 pins on each side, 40 pins, and they have a little notch on the chip. I'll try to show you this notch. You see it up there? And that notch on the top up here has to go into the board, and there's a notch on the board. And that notch is right here. So remember, line up the notches so it goes in correctly. Trickiest part is to lay this chip down and make sure that it is properly seated in all 40 pins, and then press it down very slowly. So again, this would be the new chip going in. After you remove the old one. Now that you have the chip in, the new game chip, the old game chip is out, you only have to place the board back into the machine. So you lift it up, carefully place it back into the machine. Just sliding it into this area, which mine is already in. So this is a very easy conversion. You only have to change one chip. You have to be very careful that you don't get static on the board. You have to make sure the chip is placed in correctly with the right direction. I showed you the notches. A slight push of the board into the case was all you needed. Now, the machine is still turned off. Always work with the machine turned off. You would go back in, and here's your moment of truth. You basically just turn the machine on. Once the machine comes on, it will take a few moments for the machine to cycle. Just let it sit and watch your board here. And have your key ready. Your key that goes up in this area. Let me show you. This is your reset key. This key will go into this slot. And when you turn it, you don't turn it all the way. Just a quarter turn, you'll feel tension. You'll have to turn it 4 times. Now, as the machine is cycling through, eventually you will get a message that will come up on this display. Will say RAM error. Of course mine says open door, but it will say RAM error or call attendant. And you will hear alarm bells ringing. When you hear the alarm bells ringing, you will go over with your key, put it in, turn the key once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th time, the machine will say, press the white reset button. You'll open your door, you'll press that white button again down here on the panel. The machine will start to reset. The door will say a message that will say closed door. And then in about a minute or 2, the machine will reset back to 0. All your credits will be wiped out, and the game will be ready to be played. All you have to do is put money in it and play it and have fun. So it's a pretty easy procedure. The programming is not involved. Again, it's just one chip that has to be changed. And you reset the machine by using that key. And a recap, you turn it 4 slight turns until you see a message up in this board that tells you to press the reset white button. You press that and hold it for about 3 seconds. You'll come out, another message will say, please close main door. You close the door. It'll take a few moments, but it'll recycle and start the new game up. So that is it on the programming. I hope you have fun on the machine, and if you have any questions, you could always ask me and I'll help you as much as I can. It's quite a fun deal to change the games. Like I said, I have 2 machines and 3 game kits, so I have a total of 5 games. This is now the triple, double, red, white, and blue 9-liner penny machine. I do have one more slot over here, is my super. And again, this was a conversion. It is a crop top, the smaller top. But this is a fantastic slot machine. Lots of payoffs and lots of fun. If you're buying a first-time machine, look for one that has 5 or 9 payout lines. The more payout lines you have, the more fun the machine is. I hope you have a great day, and thanks again.